All right, y'all. I'm here to talk about Porsha Family Matters. And it looks like she wanted to get this show so that she can make sense of her stealing that lady's husband. But ma'am, 2 and 2 equals 4. But this right here, it don't add up. Let's get started, shall we? All right, y'all. So the episode starts out with Portia and Simon riding around in his Bentley, or no, his Rolls Royce. Okay. They're looking for houses. They're talking about whatever. So they had just come back from Costa Rica and now they're like going to be out in the open in Atlanta. So, they're pacing themselves of trying to really just be out there with this because now everybody know you done stole that lady husband. So you got to be facing the music at this point. So they go and they're talking about how they actually met. So first of all, y'all lying a lot in this episode, and I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't know how this series is gonna go. I think Portia is hoping that it goes a certain way, but I don't think it's gonna go the way she think it's gonna go. I think that it's gonna make people dislike this whole situation even more. But anyway, they talk about how they actually met. So apparently, Portia says that she DM'd him, because he had put up some post about him and his wife getting a divorce, child. And so she's consoling him. She's trying, she knows how it feels to get divorced and all that. But I'm like, wasn't fouling your friend? Why you got to console her man? Why do you care? Like, whatever. So then he says that, no, she says he DM'd her. And then he says she DM'd him first. So somebody lying. Okay. I don't understand what's going on. But if Portia, if you did DM that lady husband first, you shouldn't have did that. Okay. Because tell him to take it to Jesus and get a therapist because you can't help him. I don't understand what services you was going to provide this old man that is divorcing his young wife. I don't understand. But whatever. You like it. I don't love it. So moving right along, they talk about they're at the home, they're looking at the house, they like it. And they're talking about how they're going to have 6 children in here because Simon has 5 children and Portia has, little cute little Pilar. So they want to make sure that they have a house that's going to fit all of their kids. Then they talk about she talks about her home in Duluth and how she's like, I never ever thought that I would ever get rid of my house in Duluth. I thought that I would always just find a man and he would just move in here and we'd just be one big happy family. Because her house in Duluth represents her sense of independence, her freedom, I think that Portia just really holds on to that house as a means of how, a figure of what it looks like to get over a bad marriage and to be able to move on and elevate in your life. And ma'am, that house is not a home if nobody in it is no one's in it that you want to be with. Like, I don't understand. Like, I remember when in Portia's having a baby, Dennis wanted to find a new home together. Dennis wanted to create a life with you, but you were so busy trying to hold on to this house instead of trying to hold on to your family, which you seem to continue to try to hold on to. It seems like throughout the show, Portia just wanted her cake and eat it too. And that's exactly how she was on Portia's having a baby too. So you got to learn how to release control and be in a relationship with somebody. You can't tell somebody how to move and how to act and be in control of every step. You can't be in control of the narrative all the time. You got to let people be them. You so concerned with somebody letting you be you, but you're not letting them be them. And that's what I'm saying. I just feel like with her moving into this, trying to buy a house with Simon and all this stuff, you could have done all this stuff with your baby daddy, which obviously you still want, because they go into talking about how, both of them said they really don't want to live in each other's houses because Simon was like, I ain't living in your house because that's tainted territory. You done had some other man up in there. Like, You don't want to come to my house because I had a wife in my house. So let's buy a new house. So you're willing to do this with somebody that you've been with for at that point for 2 weeks and got engaged. But you didn't want to do this with the man that you laid down and spread your legs wide with pride to have a baby with. I don't get it. But anyway, then they move on. Dennis. So then the next, there's a scene that filters in where Dennis goes to Porsha's house. And I just thought it was so cute. Little Pilar running to the door. She was so excited to see her dad. And I love the fact that Dennis and Porsha's mom still seem to have a really good relationship. So they sit down and talk, and Dennis is like, "What island Porsha on now?" Because it seemed like he had a little hateration in his voice. Because Dennis talking about how Porsha been traveling and posting about it all over social media. So he like, "Where the hell is she at now?" So her mom was like, "Well, they're out looking for houses." And the mom didn't seem to be too enthusiastic about all of this stuff that's going on with Porsha, because she probably side eyeing her own damn daughter like, what the hell really going on, Porsha? So anyway, Dennis says Porsha, she tells, I'm sorry, y'all, I'm getting all mixed up in my notes. Okay, so she tells him Simon and Porsha are looking for houses. Dennis says Porsha moves fast. He says they were just wearing matching pajamas in his confessional. He says we were just wearing matching pajamas, and she was asking for a ring back then. She's engaged. And Portia's mom asked if he was coming to Portia's birthday festivities. And he said no, because he can't bring a date. And he says Porsha can dish it, but she can't take it. First of all, I don't understand why Porsha didn't want to let Dennis bring a damn date, because you done moved on and you with this man after 2 weeks and you engaged. So and when she was talking to Simon, she was like, "Well, I'm not letting Dennis bring a plus one," because they were talking. I don't know how they got on. I forgot how they got on the subject of Dennis anyway. But Porsha tells Simon she asked Dennis. She basically just comes out and tells Simon that she asked Dennis not to bring a date to her birthday party. And Simon was basically like, "Well, why not? Like, everybody has a plus one. Why can't he bring a date?" And Porsha was like, "Well, no, because, he's going to bring somebody off the street. And if he's going to have this person around Pilar, like, he needs to know them." I'm like, "Well, bitch, you just was with Simon for just 2 weeks. What the hell?" So now he got to have a long rap sheet with somebody before he can come to your birthday party. First of all, your daughter not going to be at your birthday party. Let's make that very clear. Okay, so your daughter ain't even going to see said chick that he is going to be around. So he's going to bring to your party. So you're full of shit. That's what that is. You still want Dennis. You want your cake and eat it too. You don't want him to move on, and you don't want him to be with anybody. He should be able to bring whoever the hell he wants. And furthermore, if I was Simon, because Simon responded in a way that I was like, that's an eyebrow raiser, because he was like, "Well, it sounds like you don't want him to come because, there's some trust issues there," or something like that. I would have been like, "Well, why the fuck are you worrying about your ex coming to your birthday party? We're together. I put a ring on your finger. So you shouldn't be worrying about who this man is with." And that's that on that. He should have asserted himself in that moment. But him and that pipsqueak voice that he got, which I don't know if I could stomach that for a whole season. Him, his face, his everything, it's all ill. I just cannot. But anyway, Porsha, girl, you could have did way better than that. I mean, the money just it cannot be that worth it. It can't. But anyway, she says Dennis can't bring a date, child. So Portia's assistant, then we move on to the next scene. Portia's assistant asks, how does she feel about being public with Simon? And she says social media is saying bad things about her. Yeah, hello, because you stole that lady husband. That's what you did. Like, let's stop trying to, Porsha. There is no way that you can put sugar and seasoning on this situation. You stole the girl's husband. It is what it is. She was still married. You shouldn't have been checking on this man when so-called, like you said, because he was going and getting a divorce. Like, and how you fall in love with somebody this damn quick? But anyway, she is hiding away from the situation of social media because Porsha really don't like the way that people were commenting about the whole situation. I seen when she was cutting her comments off and shit because she didn't want to hear what nobody had to say. Because Porsha is one of those types of people. She's a Cancer. She wants to give it, dish it. She want to say what she want to say, but she don't want nobody to tell her about herself. Now I'm a Cancer that's on the cusp. I can hear what's going on. Tell me so I don't look like a fool. Porsha, you look like a fool. You're looking like a fool. Okay. You should not be with that lady husband. And I'm going to say that a lot in this video. So let's keep on listening. So moving right along, she says they haven't been in Atlanta very much, just in Costa Rica. So her B-Day is basically their coming out party. And Porsha's assistant shows her the birthday post that Simon made. And Porsha looked like a deer in the damn headlights, child. She was looking at that picture like, I done told this motherfucker, don't post no damn pictures of me. Okay, but he posts the pictures anyway. And here's the thing. I really think Simon is looking for some type of media praise. Like, I feel like this man is eating all of this up. He really wants to be on TV bad. He wants to be on TV so bad, but he's not entertaining. So I would think that somebody that wants to be on TV as obviously as bad as he does and wants to put all his business out here in the world, that you would actually be entertaining. You just look messy. And here's my thing, Porsha. If you so in love with this man and you so proud and don't think it's anything wrong with what you did, why are you worrying about him posting these pictures? You want to hide them? Is that what you want to do? Because you already done lied about how long y'all known each other and how long y'all been dating. So you didn't want him to post these pictures because it tells your lies. You were lying about a lot of stuff you were doing. And you don't want him to put you out there. Then you done tattooed this man's name behind your ear. Why? Why, Lord? Why you do that to yourself, Porsha? Like, what are you trying to be, Dennis? Tattooing a whole bunch of niggas all over your body because you mad that he had a whole bunch of broads tattooed on his body? Is that what you mad about? I don't understand. So you trying to follow in his footsteps and pretend like you don't want to be with him. Okay. So moving right along, she's expressed that she's upset about him posting their private moments. So in the next scene, Lauren meets with Londi, which I think I'm going to like Londi. I think Londi going to tell the truth. I hope she does because somebody needs to be around Porsha and tell her she looking like a fool. Okay. But Londi meets Lauren at Simon's club because they're going to decorate the club. Londi apparently is a party planner. She does events and things like that. So she's going to spruce up the club and it's going to be Porsha everywhere all over the club for her birthday party. So Londi says, Lauren says some of the posts that Simon puts up, she just doesn't understand why he does it because the posts are bringing Porsha a lot of hate. Well, he just posting what's going on. Porsha, you stole that lady husband. You're going to get backlash for that. I mean, listen, you can't put sugar on shit and make it sweet. You just can't. You fucked up. You stole somebody's husband and now you're taking the backlash. I don't understand how you're going to try to sweeten and make this potent and palatable for everybody, but it's not going to happen. So Londi says, which I thought was interesting. She said, well, I don't know why he's always on Instagram. I thought that, people over 50 should be on Twitter. First of all, I don't even know if anybody over 50 actually know how to use damn Twitter or Instagram for that matter. So Londi, you tried it and that's funny. So in the next scene, Porsha's mom comes into her room after getting all glammed up and she talks to her about Simon's post because she could see that Porsha just really wasn't really feeling the post. And Porsha gets upset about it because she's like, people are going to come for her because of it. And she told Simon she didn't want him to put all that out there. And he said he didn't, basically Simon says he didn't give a fuck. Like, he's like, I don't care. And that just screams attention whore to me. Like, you are more in tune with getting attention and just looking at his disposition and how he looks, just like that plain stare. Like, I feel like he can switch too quick. Like, I don't really trust Simon. Something about him, I don't trust him. And I just don't think that he has good motives for Porsha. And I think at the core, Porsha has a really good heart. And I think she's a really good person. And I just think that this man is going to end up fucking her over. And it's not going to look good at the end of all of this. Nothing good can really come out of this. And I don't see it happening. But anyway, she says she needs him to ask permission before he posts things pertaining to her. And she got emotional saying that, all of this is just giving me a lot of anxiety. This is my 40th birthday. I'm supposed to be really enjoying myself and having a good time. But instead, I'm worrying about how these pictures going to make me look. But here's the thing, Porsha, you took the damn pictures. It happened. It happened. Okay? This is what you did. This is what you decided to put yourself in. This is your life. You put yourself in the midst of this divorce situation between Simon and Fallon, and now you have to take the backlash. You were America's favorite. Now the fall to shame is happening, and it happened fast. So in the next scene, Portia's getting dressed and ready for a party, trying on all her outfits, and she got the big booty Judy going on, child. I'm like, God damn, that's a lot of ass. But then she gets on her party bus shortly after, and a speaker falls down at what looked like a daggone speaker anyway, but something falls down from the ceiling, and she's like, oh, well, this is Dennis's bus. Wait, what? The same dentist that couldn't have a date to come to your party, the same dentist that you ain't with no more, and he just your baby daddy, and you on the bus with the man that you, child. What the, Porsha? What is in between your legs that's snatching these niggas' souls like this? Because there is no way I would have got you a damn party bus for your birthday and we're not together. That's not baby daddy things. That's not baby daddy things, okay? Because if he had a woman, please believe you would not be getting that bus. And please believe that's why you don't want him to have nobody, okay? We see you. We understand. You want to keep the coins in your pocket for you and your daughter. You don't want him to have nobody else. But keep on playing around and you keep on doing all this stupid stuff with Simon trying to prove a damn point, and you're going to end up losing in the end. So anyway, they come into the club. Drew shows up, which I thought was really awkward, like the way she came in and greeted Simon. So we saw Jennifer from Basketball Wives was there. Yandy was there from Love and Hip Hop. It was she had a couple of her celebrity friends at her party, and then Drew comes strolling in. So Drew is like, yeah, I met you, the one time. Yeah, you saw him. You were at his house, okay? And you know what? Did you talk to Porsha about that spirit of Delilah? Yeah, because you kept harping on that, Drew, in your season when you were on there talking about LaToya and her and the spirit of Delilah. You were so upset that she was trying to get at the pastor or whatever the case may be. But you ain't checking your friend for her spirit of Delilah. Then it was so freaking awkward. She was like, listen, I don't care, how you guys met or how it came about. First of all, you know how they met. You know how they met. She was at that lady house, and she stole that lady husband. Okay. So you know how they met. She's like, I don't know how how this came about, but I'm gonna just mind my business. And as long as she's happy, I'm happy. Well, girl, what? What part of the Bible says as long as my friend is happy, she can steal somebody's husband? Child, people, I tell you, people pick and choose what they want to what they want to follow. But that's that on that. Drew, I'm watching you. You better make sure that you on your P's and Q's this next season, because you going along with Porsha and her foolishness, you tried it. So in the next scene, Porsha and Simon go out. This is after the party is over. Actually, Porsha takes Simon outside. I can't forget that. She takes Simon outside and she says, I really want to talk to you about those posts. Okay. I feel like Porsha also didn't want him to post those pictures because she really didn't want to let nobody know she was messing with this man for real. She might really be ashamed of him, honestly, because he do look like Magilla the gorilla. So maybe, you know what, y'all, I take that back. That was not nice. He is not attractive to me at all. I could not, nothing moisturizing can happen down there for me with Simon. it's not gonna happen. So anyway, she talks to him about the pictures, and she's like, I know you want to really express your feelings for me and all this stuff, but we need to go back to what we talked about. Like, tell me before you post my picture, nigga. Like, that's basically what she wanted to say. And so he's like, he starts to get emotional and uglier, and he's like, I just I just feel like I shouldn't have to censor my feelings for you. Child. Ooh. He's like, the tattoo, and I just felt like you posted the picture of the tattoo, but you didn't tell people what it was for. Simon, why do you need people to know what the tattoo was about? You looking for clout, sir. That's what you're doing. That right there sealed it from me. You know what the tattoo is about. You know what it is. So why do you need her to tell everybody that was your name? That's your middle name. Pressed, are we? Looking for attention, are we? That's exactly what you're doing. That's exactly what you're doing. And I see you. I see you, Simon. You're full of shit. So anyway, Porsha basically tells Simon, look, listen, that was cute and all, but you need to consult me before you post anything, okay? Because I'm not going to do this. So in his confessional, he says, when it comes to social media, I don't give a fuck. Yeah, when it comes to Porsha, you don't give a fuck either. You just looking for attention. That's what it looks like to me. And then he says, but I know I need to respect Porsha's feelings, and I'm going to do better. And I'm not going to do that anymore. Whatever, sir. And the next scene, we see Porsha and Simon go out to dinner. They sit down to dinner and they're talking about, their past lives and all this, that, and the third. And, Porsha says she likes how Simon lets her be herself, like be her silly self. And she's like, in the past when she was with Cordell, well, she didn't say Cordell, but they showed her being with Cordell, like how people in relationships, they tried to change her and she didn't like that. So she likes that she can be her authentic self around him. And Simon goes into talking about how in his family, his grandfather had 25 damn wives, and he said, when I was growing up, it wasn't really a lot of hands around to help with the kids. And I'm like, but you said your grandfather had 25 wives and your father had 2 wives. Why wasn't there no help? Where was your daddy at with all these damn kids? Like, I don't understand. And then he goes into saying, it's like back in where I'm from, it's customary to have another wife, and you and the other wife, y'all just make sure that I don't have a side bitch. First of all, he said side bitch a little too comfortably. Yeah, you did. This is America, Jack, and we don't do that. Okay, you either one and done with a wife, or you just need to get on with it. Okay, so Porsha is like, yeah, I'm not feeling the 2 wives thing. That's not happening with me. So then she asked him about cheating and all this, that, and the third, if he's ever cheated, and he was honest. He said, yes, I've cheated, and all those things. But then he talks about they talk about how they want to have a better relationship. And he says because he didn't really have a good relationship with his father, he wants to make sure that doesn't happen with his children. And Porsha says, yeah, it's the same thing with Dennis. He didn't have a good relationship with his father, and so he always is there for Pilar. He wants to always be there for her or whatever. And she was like, so that's why I really want you guys to get along. Like, it's like Porsha is always talking about Dennis when she's around Simon. And I'm like, for him to just so-called be your baby daddy at this point, you're considering him for a lot of things that really don't concern him. Then, so next scene, Londi comes over to drop off stuff for Porsha's cookout and chat with Porsha for a little bit. So Lonnie tells Porsha Dennis has been hitting up Lauren. So I don't know if she was saying that to kind of imply that something was going on with Dennis and Lauren or whatever, but I don't know. But Porsha looks like she's taken back. Like, really? Why he hitting her up? But anyway, she's like, is there any hidden ego with Dennis and what's going on? Because Porsha tells her that, Dennis is a real advocate for her and Simon's relationship. And then they talk about how Dennis commented on a photo saying, dang, P. Willie, I forgot you was engaged, on one of Porsha's birthday pictures. And then Simon goes and writes on all her pictures, mine. And Londi says Simon popping up on Mother's Day was awkward. because apparently Dennis had planned, and I don't get this timeline line of when she told Dennis about Simon. So she says she knew Simon for 2 weeks. She told Dennis the morning of Simon proposing. Okay. Then they are talking about this Mother's Day event where Dennis planned a Mother's Day event for Porsha, and Simon shows up to the event uninvited. So he comes to the event, and Porsha is like, well, I didn't want to tell Dennis about Simon coming because I didn't want him to cancel my event. That's pretty damn selfish, don't you think? Let Simon throw you a damn Mother's Day event. You just heavily in this man's pockets forever. Like, you just never going to let go of your reign around his wallet. And it's like, girl, you're not his girl no more. He don't have to do Mother's Day events for you. If anybody he going to do some Mother's Day shit for, it'll be his own damn mother. He don't need to plan nothing for you just because you his only baby mama for now. Heavy on the for now. Okay? So don't get mad when he get another baby mama and be doing all the same stuff for her, because you ain't the only one. So anyway, moving right along, Porsha says she has no romantic feelings for Dennis and she just wants to be a family. So then they go into the scene with Dennis and Lauren chatting at the restaurant. And it's kind of like the scenes were flopping back and forth, but I just kind of made my notes with everything all together. So I wasn't going back and forth. So Dennis and Lauren chat at his restaurant, and Dennis said his relationship with Lauren is good and they've always been cool, regardless of his relationship with Porsha, whether it's up and down or whatever. And then Dennis asked Lauren, does she think Simon and Portia's relationship is cool? And with them getting engaged so fast. And Lauren says, well, what's your problem with it? Like, what are your concerns? And he says, if Portia's happy, he's happy, because they got to co-parent together at least for the next 16 years. He gonna be in her life, so it would be in his best interest to be okay with her. And then Dennis says when he posted on her photo, he actually had forgotten that she was engaged and he was just joking and being funny, but Porsha was caking, talking about her butt. I'm like, Lord have mercy, Dennis. Don't worry about that woman's ass. You need to be worrying about all the other shit that's going on with her and how she done brought that man around her child or your daughter after damn 2 weeks. She don't know nothing to know him from a can of damn paint. So he says Porsha called him the morning she got engaged and they had been dating for just 2 weeks. He asked Lauren, is it for the money? And then Lauren tells him, no, well, Porsha has her own money, so it can't be because of that. And then Dennis says, Porsha definitely wouldn't have been with me. This is in his confessional. He's like, she definitely wouldn't have been with me if it wasn't for me having money. And I think that's true. So definitely, I feel like this relationship is definitely motivated by the financials with Simon. But it couldn't be enough money in the world to make me act like I love that man. It's no daggone way. I will work a 9 to 5 and build this 401k for the rest of my life if that's what I have to do. No, man, Pam. No. Okay. I was going to say something that's not so nice about how that man looks, but I'm going to keep it to myself. So Dennis says it looks like she took somebody's man. No, Dennis. It doesn't look like it. She did. Okay. So he said Lauren should have stopped it and said this shit ain't cool. And Dennis also says that if Porsha had told him about this before the Mother's Day event, that he would have never had it. He would have canceled it. And I'm like, yeah, I would have canceled that bitch and bought me a new one too. Like, why the hell would I do a Mother's Day event for you and you got a whole man and you engaged? Then he talked about how Porsha kind of forced him into that picture because they were having the event. Simon shows up. So she takes the picture with him and he was like, yeah, and I didn't know this picture was going to break the damn internet. He's like, that was awkward. He really didn't want to take the picture. He didn't want to really be a part of that. And he just thinks that it's really just messed up how all of this has come about. So he said, he still thinks Porsha loves him. And Dennis tells Lauren Porsha flies fast and crashes hard. And he says Lauren needs to stop her. And he told her to shake Porsha and tell her to blink twice if she's in trouble. I'm like, yeah, her and Simon's relationship is happening pretty darn fast. And I just really don't see the connection with her and Simon. First of all, you talk about Dennis all the freaking time. Secondly, I feel like Dennis, first of all, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't think Dennis was attractive when I first saw her messing with him. I ain't think he was ugly. Like I thought he definitely is more attractive than Simon. Okay. But now I'm like, listen, if he get rid of that belly, he gonna be the eligible bachelor of Atlanta, Porsha. So you better hope that he don't learn to get a personal trainer and stop eating so many hot dogs from the hot dog factory, do a couple sit-ups, and he really gonna come out here stomping on your ass. Okay. You really gonna be looking like he can't bring no broad around. Girl, he gonna bring all the broads around at that point. So you just gonna have to get used to Dennis having somebody. And Porsha, you can't have your cake and eat it too. And the reality is, I think Porsha needs to go to relationship counseling by herself because you can't be in control. You telling this man what he can post. You trying to direct the narrative of your life. You trying to portray something that's really not going on. So it's like you're lying about your image. And it makes people question what type of person you really are. And you're coming off very selfish. And if I was doing reviews, I wish I was doing these reviews back when it was Portia's having a baby, because at that time I saw what was going to happen with her and Dennis, because I could see that Porsha was trying to control Dennis. She was trying to take over. She's trying to take control of his finances and take control of him and just consume him and make him do whatever she wanted to do. That relationship could have worked if Porsha could have just settled into the relationship and been submissive. And now all of a sudden you're slightly submissive with Simon, but you don't love this man. You could not pay me to think that makes any sense or that it's real. But anyway, I don't know how this gonna go, y'all. I'm gonna watch the next episode and hope that it gets better. But right now, it's just really looking like Porsha, you stole that lady husband, and I don't like that. And I love you, Porsha, I really do. But this here is giving me making me give you the major side eye. All right, y'all. We gonna hang in there. We gonna look at this again on Sunday and see what's going on. What's the goings on with Porsha and the shenanigans? All right. So thank you guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with other people that watch the episode too. Share the wealth. It's all love. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.